Hey, what's up? Like, totally time for 90210.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the 90210 show presented by Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me, as always, is my girlfriend, Carol. How you doing, Carol?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. We had a good week here. It is November 2nd, 1995.
Can you believe the year is almost over?
I know. It's crazy,
Flying
right?
by.
Almost 1996. Almost midway through, or we are midway through the 1990s.
Yeah,
That's kind of crazy to think about.
that is.
The year 2000.
It's coming.
It's like a science fiction year.
Right?
It's so weird. What are we going to say in the year 2000? We're going to say it's zero? Because we're like, it's 95 right now, right?
Right.
We're going to say it's zero. It's 01.
But 00?
Yeah, is 00?
007?
2000, I guess. It's
Right.
the year 2000. Well, we got 5 years to think about it. Well,
Yeah.
4 in some change years.
4 years into
to think about it. Crazy. Where are you going to be 5 years from now? Yeah, people ask that all the time.
Right?
Guidance counselors like, where do you want to be in 5 years?
Like, I don't know.
Will we be married in 5 years?
Maybe.
Maybe.
We'll see.
I don't know. We'll see how this mythology develops. Anyway. So it is 90210 time. Carol, what happened? What happened to 90210?
What happened to Brenda? That's the question.
Oh,
'cause
Brenda.
This whole episode was just Brenda being stupid.
Brenda has a nicotine fit the entire episode.
Right? Yeah. What was up with this episode? Like, all I want to do now is have a cigarette because the whole episode she's like either smoking, talking about smoking, or trying not to smoke.
We're trying not to smoke 90210, and it's not easy in the mid 90s to not smoke.
Right? So, yeah, Brenda, they're walking out of a preparation class for the SATs.
Preparation H, I believe it's called.
And
it's in Hall H.
she gets stopped by some reporters who want to talk about, like, her high school experience.
Yeah. Here's the thing, too. This doesn't make any sense. Is this that, what's her name? I can't even remember her name anymore. The character, the news reporter. But is this that news reporter trying to be legitimate still or something? I don't know, because this doesn't seem like the kind of, from what we learn, this
Right.
doesn't seem like the kind of story they would cover.
For sure. Well, I think what it was is she was scouting out talent for the bigger piece that she was going to do on high school students.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
And, you know, it seems like only in Beverly Hills would it be normal to walk out of your SAT prep course and have people with microphones and cameras wanting to talk to you about it.
For
Like,
sure.
if that happened here, I would be suspicious.
Yeah, nothing cool ever happens here in Michigan.
Do you think tabloid reporters are cool?
No, not necessarily. But, I mean, like, Inside Edition isn't scouting our school, obviously.
That's for sure, yeah.
But one time I was in Las Vegas, and I went to a movie theater, and when we were going to see a movie. I don't remember what the movie was. But as we were going in, some lady stopped us and said, hey, do you want to be part of a test screening?
Oh, yeah, fun.
We're doing a test screening of some movie, and you can be in the audience and like give your thoughts on it and everything. And yeah, that happened out there, but it would never happen here. Not like I don't, you know.
It actually happened to me one time.
Did it?
Yeah.
Here in Michigan?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was not a movie, though. It was a pilot of a television show.
Really? When did that? What was that like?
It was at the mall.
I've never heard this story.
It was kind of like, you know how they walk up to you and ask you to take surveys? Like, we thought
Sure.
that's what it was, but instead it was, hey, want to come watch this thing and fill out a survey about it.
Wow.
So,
One time I was walking through the mall with a friend, and someone said, hey, can I get your opinion on a survey? And he goes, yeah, they suck. I just walked away.
but yeah, I never saw the show on TV, so I think
Oh, it never made it.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Otherwise, I could have been like, hey, I screened that. Oh, well.
The movie I saw made it into the movie theaters.
Which one?
It was just a dumb comedy movie.
Oh, can't remember the name.
No.
Okay. So,
Maybe
Brenda.
maybe in like, I don't know, like 10 years I'd be able to remember the name of it, but
Okay.
it might take that long to think.
Well, you can tell us the story again in 10 years when you can remember the name.
Yep. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So Brenda is the only one that stops and actually talks to these assholes. Mm-hmm. And then Steve recognizes not the reporter.
The logo.
But yeah.
Someone's wearing like a what's it called? Backstory pin.
And he comes over like he's going to rough somebody up. He rips the microphone out of the reporter's hand and starts yelling about some story they did about his mom.
Yeah.
So
that was hatchet job on Samantha Sanders.
Yeah, not good. And he told Brenda, he's like, don't trust these people. Don't talk to them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Brenda, who really, really wanted a cigarette, just got sucked in by this reporter because she smokes.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, I swear to God, I don't think that this episode would have turned out the same way if there wasn't cigarettes.
Marlboro Reds.
Yeah.
Cigarettes make all the best decisions.
They're called Marley.
Is that what they said?
I think that's what it said on the box, yeah.
Marley Reds. Look, it's the Marley Man. But the Marley Man, instead of wearing a cowboy hat, he wears a pillbox hat like Jackie Kennedy used to wear.
Right? Uh-huh. So, yeah, the next day, the reporter's outside of school, like they're fucking stalking these kids. Mm-hmm. And Brenda ends up going to talk to her and bumming a smoke. And then,
she found the weak one in the herd.
Yeah.
She called it out.
And so she's like, well, I'm trying to do this like real piece to show that, you know, the kids in West Beverly High are normal and not, you know, the way that
we're going to cut through the cliches
them.
And show the real life.
Right. Yeah.
Your friends remind me of my friends.
Brenda, though, when she was working with this lady, which, you know, she shouldn't have done in the first place, opened up way too much.
Oh, yes, she did.
I mean, she was telling her shit that, like, you wouldn't even tell, like, your parents about your friends?
Probably, yeah. That's true.
So why would you tell a reporter?
Because she's got cigarettes. It's like she ran that island in Pinocchio.
Right?
She just had a bunch of cigarettes and alcohol. I was like, come on, Brenda. Tell me all about your loose friend, Kelly.
She even got her to skip school. Mm-hmm. That was crazy. Like, what kind of an adult is going to sit there and entice a, you know, high schooler to be like, hey, hang out with me and smoke cigarettes all day instead of going to school?
Hi, diddly dee. The hack journalist life for me.
Right?
She goes, they've got an RV parked outside the school.
Which,
a bunch of creeps.
How did they manage that, by the way, without, like, the principal, like, being onto them?
Seriously. And, like, yeah, instead of candy, they've got cigarettes and alcohol. Come on, kids. Come into the RV. But it's filled with what is supposed to be audio and visual equipment, I guess. I don't know. It's like a bunch of VCRs stacked on top of each other. And I don't know. I've never been in an actual professional editing bay, so I don't know exactly what they look like.
Right.
But... yeah, she's like, oh, we've got 27 mobile units like this all around the country, and we can edit on the fly. It gives us a lot of options. Here's my boss, Creepy McCreeperson.
Yeah, he was on the phone and smoking. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much his entire contribution to the show, except for at the very end.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she doesn't go to school.
Here are the things that she brings her.
Yeah.
And I don't know exactly how this works. She brings her a yearbook, some visual scrapbook that David made. Remember when David used to just run around with a camera all the time?
Yeah.
They got rid of that subplot. But something he made, and then I think that's it, right? And then she just gave her an interview.
Yeah, well, like, she went through the stuff with her and was talking about her friends while they're going through the stuff.
Yeah.
So she mentions how Kelly used to be loose. Like, literally
so
says that. Like, you don't say that about your friend.
We've never seen Kelly sleep with anyone either. She slept with Steve, we know, just from them talking about it.
Right.
And then she tried to have sex with the gay guy. That didn't happen.
She tried to have sex with the wheelchair guy.
I tried to have sex with the wheelchair guy. That didn't happen. She tried to have sex with the guy that was in college that went on to Melrose Place. And that didn't happen because she was too young.
Apparently, according to the show, she didn't have sex with Dylan either.
Right.
And she almost got raped at that Halloween party, but she didn't.
Yeah. And when Brenda was telling her that she was dressing too provocatively.
Right. You know, Kelly's on Brenda through the whole episode about smoking, kind of the way that Brenda was on her about her clothes. So
Yeah.
And apparently Dylan does not like cigarettes either.
No. Dylan says that he's never had a long-term relationship with a smoker.
And he's not about to start now.
Right.
That was pretty serious shit. Like, I'm going to break up with you if you don't quit smoking, basically, right?
Yeah. Do you think he really would?
Yeah.
For Kelly?
Yeah. He's already got his next girl lined up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's simmering her up.
So,
he's ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the only thing missing from his James Dean look is a cigarette.
But apparently we'll never see that.
No. This episode and show seems very anti-smoking.
Yes. Well, and then a pack of cigarettes falls out of her purse in front of her parents. Mm-hmm. And Kelly has I'm sorry, but this is being a shitty friend, has the balls to sit there and say to her, well, I'm glad your parents caught you. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, you shouldn't be smoking. Well, fuck you.
All right. I'm glad your mom called you a slut and slapped you when she was on coke.
Because you shouldn't be a slut, Kelly.
Right.
Yeah.
And your mom shouldn't be doing coke.
So, yeah, Brenda's not doing great this episode. She's just having, like, one long bad day that kind of turns into a bad week because she can't stop smoking. Everybody's on her case. Mm-hmm. She's helping this reporter bitch who, you know, she thinks is a friend, but is not.
No. No, remember that. Anybody that tries to ply you with cigarettes and alcohol, they're not real friends.
Nikki's back in this episode.
Nikki Witt.
And she's basically, like, being a reporter herself.
Yeah, well, she's trying to be. She joins the Blaze.
Yeah, well, and she's trying to dig up information about Brandon.
She says, let me write an article about this time that my family and I took this trip from Chicago to California to go to Wally World.
Okay. So
she's Audrey from Vacation.
Yeah.
But not from European Vacation.
No.
And not from Christmas Vacation.
They had a different actress for Audrey?
Every time. Mm-hmm. Both kids. They changed the actors for both kids every time. You know who it is in Christmas Vacation?
Huh.
Some dude named Johnny Galecki.
Okay.
Who the guy that is in Roseanne.
Yeah.
He's I can't remember his name. But he's
David.
David, yeah. David and Roseanne.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so she's trying to join the Blaze to be around Brandon more, and she's asking all his friends about him. And she finds out that...
weird.
What?
That she's asking all his friends about him.
Yeah, like, Dylan's, like, laughing at
She
him.
asks Dylan what his hobbies are.
And he's like, so I told her how much he loved to knit.
Right. Very fun.
So she finds out he works at the Peach Pit, and she shows up there while he's working and pretends like she didn't know he worked there. That's lame. At least be honest that your intention was to see him.
Right.
So
I think it's funny that he keeps saying, like, oh, she's so young, though, because she's only a sophomore. And it's in real life, she's 30. Like, she's older than he is in real life.
yeah, it's weird. She does look really young, though.
She does. She's blessed. She has a very young-looking face. Good for you. Actress that played Audrey and Nikki Witt on 90210, whose name I don't know.
So at the end of the episode, though... Oh, no, first he... I'm sorry, let me back it up before I jump there.
First, he stabs someone to death.
First, he yells at her.
He does? Yeah, what a dick.
Like, he's all stressed out because the backstory piece gets aired on television.
Yeah, we should finish this plot line.
Brenda... So it's actually showing, like, that she called Kelly loose and that, like, they say that Donna has a learning disability.
Yeah.
And that her parents' solution to that was to send her to Europe.
Yeah, to get... Which has nothing to do with anything.
Right.
They're not correlated in any way. But yeah, this show has, like... It's a weird cross between Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous and Inside Edition or something like that. Because the guy that hosts it is this, like, we're here in Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Robin Leach wannabe.
Yeah, exactly. The rich and richer. Yeah, it's terrible. But yeah, he goes through the whole thing, and like you said, he's like, she's got a learning disability. And they show this close up of her with a circle over her face.
Yeah.
So weird.
And they do this cut where like it's like Brenda's being interviewed by him, but she wasn't. She was being interviewed by that lady.
Yeah.
So they just like take stuff totally out of context.
Yeah, because she's like, I've got 2 parents have been married for 20 years, and he goes, but that's not normal around here, is it? And she's like, well, you have to remember I'm from Minnesota. Like, basically saying, like, yeah, these fucking assholes.
Right. Yeah, not good. So Braden's all stressed out and worried about her.
And everyone hates her.
He's trying to find her and, help.
Mm-hmm. He finds her in the library eventually.
Nikki runs into him at just the wrong moment.
Yeah.
And she says, is everything okay?
He's like, yeah, everything's fine. Except you're on my ass all the time.
Yeah. He was like, even if you're not here to ask me, even if you're not at the Peach Pit, like totally mean.
We don't match. We're totally different people. The odds are stacked against us. Go fuck yourself.
Kinda.
It's a really huge diatribe against her.
And she's like, let's just back this conversation up for a minute.
Yeah. I asked you if you were okay. You said you were.
I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah. And she walks away.
Yeah. Messed up.
Brandon, a rare moment of being a complete... Like, he was like Steve Sanders in that.
Oh, yeah.
In that moment.
So, and then she shows up at the end of the episode at the Peach Pit when everybody is there together. Mm-hmm. And she, like, turns around and tries to walk the fuck back out when she sees Brandon. So she's like... He's like, come with me, and takes her in the back room. She's like, I'm so sorry. I thought it was your night off. I didn't know you'd be here. Mm-hmm. They end up making out.
Yeah.
The fuck?
He's like, I like you, and I'm sorry about yelling at you.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show every guy out there, just yell at girls, and then kiss them afterwards, and everything will work out for you.
But, I mean, she already liked him way before he yelled at her, so...
That's true.
It didn't make a lot of sense to me, though.
No, the whole thing... Well, okay, that's a lesson for girls out there. Put up with guys yelling at you. Because eventually they'll say they like you.
I mean, like, the whole time he's been saying he doesn't like her.
Yeah, I don't get it. They haven't had any chemistry together on screen at all. And even after they kiss, no offense, they're both good-looking people and everything like that, but they don't have any chemistry together on screen. So it's like they don't have any chemistry, and they haven't had a lot of like meaningful interactions on screen together. And he's been saying the whole time that like, oh, he doesn't really like her because she's too young, she's just a sophomore, all this stuff and everything. What changed?
Right.
Where was there ever a change? Like him kissing her came out of nowhere.
Yeah, she did not get any older.
No. I was waiting for you to turn 16 and a half. It was that 2 days that made the difference.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make a lot of sense because that comes completely out of nowhere.
Oh, Brenda and Dylan are having an argument this episode too, because the SATs are happening.
Yeah.
And instead of taking them, he wants to go visit his dad in prison.
Do you know what SAT stands for?
No.
Scholastic?
Scholastic, huh?
I can't even... Scapula?
Thanks for their education us.
Scholastic aptitude test.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So and Kelly inserts herself into their argument and sides with him.
Well, you didn't say what the argument was.
So he says, he's not sure he wants to go to college.
Mm-hmm. And he just doesn't want to take the SATs because he's going to go see his dad in prison.
And go to the beach.
Yeah.
Because, it's not like he spends enough time at the beach.
That's all he wants to do.
And Brenda's like, on him about, you got to at least take the test and blah, blah, blah. And Kelly's like, Brenda, not everyone needs to go to college right away when they graduate from high school.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Some people can just get their dick sucked by me.
Oh, goodness.
She wants him so bad.
It's no good.
No. But it's fun.
No bueno.
Yeah, so they're arguing about that. Eventually, he does go see his dad. His dad gives him a lecture about, needing to go to, like, having your options open and stuff like that.
Yeah, somehow his dad, who's never been a dad, suddenly goes into overdrive dad mode, gives him a winning lecture, and remembered that his SATs were the next day.
Yeah, exactly. That just goes to show you guys out there, if your parents are neglectful, set them up to go to prison.
There you go.
They'll become responsible parents.
They'll have nothing else to think about but you and your well-being.
Exactly.
And
but really focus his priorities.
You know, and Dylan got so mad and, like, stormed off, and I was thinking to myself, like, what? He wanted him to care about you.
But he doesn't want to do the SATs. He's scared.
Of what?
Dylan?
Yeah.
He's scared of failing. He's scared of failing. He's scared of not being smart enough. He's scared of not being good enough. That's why he doesn't want to do this stuff. He doesn't want to challenge himself. Huh. That's what that's what I get from his character. I think that's the subtext that's being played here. They didn't say any of this, but that's my interpretation of it.
So he's not just lazy.
I don't think that's it, no.
See, I thought he was just lazy and just really, really wants to spend his whole life on a beach.
Interesting. But what else happens in this episode?
Oh, okay. The girl who was, like, being friendly with Brenda.
Yeah.
She gets in an argument with her boss because he says the piece is not steamy enough. And he says if you don't... Huh?
I said this is pretty out of order because, as we said, it already aired.
Yeah.
So this happened before that, obviously.
But, you know, she didn't want the piece to be like this, and she shows up the morning of the SATs looking for Brenda to apologize, and it turns out that she actually quit her job because she didn't want to do that kind of journalism.
Right.
So she goes to where the SATs are being held and apologizes to Brenda and everyone and tells them Brenda didn't know.
And gives them a tape that exonerates Brenda.
Which I still don't think it does because she's still talking about their personal stuff with a reporter.
Right.
Like, I'd still be mad.
But Kelly just hugs her without seeing the tape.
Well, yeah, and apparently she said she was intelligent, so that's all it takes.
You said I was smart?
I love you, Brenda.
Yeah, so that's the end of that storyline. And then the other major storyline that's going on is that some dude that's in college, he's a freshman in college.
Oh, yeah.
Wants to give Steve a master key to the entire school that unlocks every door, every office, every filing cabinet, and every grade bank.
I would believe that there is a master key probably for the janitor.
Maybe.
But not for the filing cabinets.
Yeah, what key can open both doors and filing cabinets are smaller. The slot's smaller.
Right. It's weird.
It doesn't make any sense.
No. And what is he talking about? Grade bank? What the hell is a grade bank?
I don't know what they're talking about there. I would assume that, this is we have to remember, although it's not that long ago, we have to remember this is like 3 years ago.
Right.
Because we're about 3 years behind or so on 90210. I would assume, though, that like a place like Beverly Hills is kind of on the cutting edge, and at least some of their grade stuff's on a computer somewhere. I would say probably some of our stuff in our dinky little school is probably on a computer somewhere.
Yeah, maybe some of it, but even if it is handwritten, I don't think that it's all in one giant bin called a grade bank that opens with a master key.
It'd be in a filing cabinet, right?
Yeah, and probably like either like in individual teachers' rooms, they'll have their own grades, and then what
the fuck's office. A grade bank,
right, Steve?
Anyway, so this guy says that this key gets passed down to some senior every year. It's a big tradition in the school.
Apparently, this guy had honor society, dean's list, all this crap, like 3 card markings in a row. And it's like obvious that it was just because he cheated his ass off. Steve's
like, why do you want to give this to me? And he goes, because I want you to be in my frat next year, in my fraternity. And then he ends the conversation by saying, hey, for once in your life, don't be a jerk. And it's like, why do you want him in your frat?
Yeah.
If that's your opinion of him.
It's very weird.
It's an accurate opinion of Steve because he is a dick.
And other than the fact that it makes Steve, look off into the distance with furrowed brow a couple times, it really doesn't have that much impact on the episode.
That's true. Any excuse for a storyline where they can get Ian Ziering to look confused. Because he does a really good confused face.
He does.
He'd play an excellent dog in a movie.
Right?
What? And then at the end, he tells Brandon about it, and he's like, hey, why don't we do this, and then we can both rule the school, and you won't have to be so busy. And Brandon goes, do you want to be the guy that has all the good grades, but is always afraid for your entire senior year that someone's going to catch you, and it's going to be a big deal? Or you want to be the guy that like just does the best you can and is able to sleep at night?
Right.
And so, I mean, that's good advice. That's honestly good advice.
I liked the advice. So Steve doesn't do the douchey. See, for once in his life, he's not in his life. He's not a jerk.
Right.
He does not do the douchey thing.
But I think that's pretty much it, right? Donna's not got much going on except for the SATs, and David, same thing.
Yeah, Dylan does take his SATs, but it looks like he stopped at a different school to take them.
Ooh, he did it on the sly. Well, yeah, that's true because he doesn't come out with them. Yeah,
well, and then it said some weird name that looked like I don't know, like maybe the name of an Indian tribe or something. I swear to God, like I've never seen this word. It was like Solokawo or something.
Wow.
School. So, I don't know. And he walks in and he says, is it too late to sign up for the test? That was what he said. So, This isn't where he was registered, but I think it's because he went to see his dad, so he stopped somewhere on the way home.
But he also doesn't want, because he doesn't want people to be like, oh, how'd you do on the test, Dylan, if he did bad?
Right.
And he doesn't want to talk about it.
So he wants them to think he didn't take it.
Yeah, he wants to be on the sly, I think.
That makes sense.
What do you think of the acronym that their test prepper gives them? SDSM. Was it scan, discard, select, move on?
Yeah, I don't understand the...
What does that mean? Scan the question and then either discard it, like skip it, or select something and then move on?
I think it means you scan the question, discard the answers you know aren't correct.
Oh.
Select the correct answer and move on.
Gotcha.
I think.
Here's a little tip. If there's ever two answers that are very similar, it's one of those two.
Okay.
Like if it's multiple choice and it's like there's four things and two of them are really similar, then it's one of those two things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're not going to try to trip you up with the wrong answer.
But, SAT is not a big deal.
How'd you do on your SATs?
I actually never took my SATs.
Me either.
Because here in Michigan, you only have to take your SATs if you're going out of state to school.
Yeah.
Different states require SATs, but here we have a test called the ACT.
I took the ACT, not the SAT,
which stands for the Academic Curriculum Test. I don't know what it stands for. Actually, I don't think it stands for anything anymore.
Okay.
I think it did used to stand for something, but I don't think it stands for anything anymore.
Okay. That's weird.
Yep. But anyway, yeah, I did well on it. I got basically a perfect score on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was hungover when I took
36,
mine,
I
so
think.
yeah, I didn't do great.
Well, you can cheat off me next time. Sit next to me and cheat off me.
You're going to retake it?
Sure, I'll retake it. I don't give a fuck. We can pretend we're high schoolers again, or we are high schoolers. I don't. You guys decide.
Whichever you prefer.
Yep. Make up your own headcanon, and that's what the reality is of this situation that you're listening to. But that is the episode for the week. Carol, tell the people what the people need to hear.
So go to retrolatefee.com. Write us at latefee1994.com. Tell your friends, pass out our tapes, and give us the stars and all that good stuff.
I don't know if you said any of that right, but...
What?
It's retrolatefee.com.
That's what I said.
And, what is it? No, it's latefee1994 at AOL.com.
That's also what I said.
Are you sure?
Pretty darn sure.
I was only half listening, so
we'll have to go back and listen to the tape, but yeah, I think so. You jerk.
Well, it bears repeating. But tell a friend about the show. And if you can find any place to give us a good review of the show, that would be helpful.
Yeah, just tack it up on the wall somewhere. It's cool.
Yep. All right. Write it on an apple. and throw it at a wall. And that might work.
Okay, have a good one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.